Yo, welcome in to today's exciting video. Here we have today with us Hjalte from AV. He's an absolute rammer, 18 years old of age. And he's been with us for the past year, has had some amazing results running a really sick agency. So he was nice enough to hop in and explain a little bit about his journey, what he's been doing, his results and all that stuff. So hopefully it's gonna be valuable for anyone out there who's looking to build an agency and do cold email and do whatever. So yeah, Hjalte, thanks for being here. How you doing, man?
I'm doing amazing, doing even better now speaking to you. I think it's going to be a very great call.
I hope so. I hope so. Let's see what we can cook up here. Um, but yeah, just to kick everything off, you want to do a quick background breakdown, who you are, what you do, where are you from, just to give everyone a bit of an idea.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, like Levi mentioned, my name is Hjalte. I am from Denmark, the capital of Denmark, so Copenhagen, and I'm 18 years old. I went to high school. I recently dropped out, but yeah, I run my lead generation agency called Cold Growth. We serve B2B SaaS businesses, usually above 500,000 in ARR. So it's those kind of like Series C, so yeah, C, B stage ish SaaS companies. And yeah, we basically help them with everything outbound, pretty much mainly cold email, sometimes a bit of LinkedIn stuff as well, and some sick clay workflows. A bit about me. There's not much background to go into besides like being a teenager and going to school. I've always had kind of a entrepreneurial spirit. Sounds kind of cliche to say, but like, yeah, I sold stuff when I was younger, and I always liked, come up with ideas. Very creative person, if I should say so myself. And then around, I would say 15, 16 years old, I started to, kind of dive into the whole digital, how to make money online space. I watched a lot of Imagachi, and some other guys. I remember I tried a bunch of random shit like affiliate marketing, but I didn't really take any of it seriously. So it was just like dipping my feet into this kind of stuff and getting a sense of what it's like. So I did like affiliate marketing. I did a bit of, I think I tried some white label SaaS, and I did SMMA for a while as well. Um, didn't go very well. Then one summer, it was, yeah, that'll be summer 2023, I think. I was like, now I got to get my shit together. I'm starting high school. So I got to find something that's working. Then I stumbled upon a smaller community, which is not AV, that Levi ran at the time with his co-founder. Joined that, was in that for like 6 months, just to get my agency up and running. And yeah, it was a pretty steep learning curve because obviously I had no prior business experience going into it. So there was a lot to learn, but it was super fun and exciting. And within those 6 months, I signed my first couple of clients, got some money, and then I used that to buy myself into AV, which was about, a little over a year ago now. And yeah, the rest is history.
That's fucking sick, bro. A perfect answer. You answered my like first five questions, so that's
Oh
fantastic.
shit.
But that's super sick. I think one like really interesting thing that I immediately want to dive into is what do you think? Like, it's super funny to hear you saying that, damn, I gotta get my shit together. I'm going to high school. Like for 99% of people who are going to high school, that's not what they are thinking. That's not like the first thing on their mind. Like they're thinking about something completely else. I don't know what these people think nowadays, but at least I remember when I was going to high school, business wasn't like really on my mind. So what do you think was the turning point that made you realize that okay, it's time to stop fucking around, jumping around these different business models and doing this shit, and I gotta lock in and start actually running this agency. Do you remember anything there?
Yeah. I think, I've always been a very driven person. So no matter what I kind of start doing, um, I'll just, go 100% at it, and I will try my absolute best. I can't half-ass anything. It was the same with kind of like homework and grades in school. I was very into getting good grades and shit. Not because I liked doing homework, but just because I couldn't really do anything and not give it my all. So, when I started dipping my feet into the entrepreneur stuff, digital agency stuff, I'd been running that for a while, of course, telling like friends about it a little bit, telling my parents about it, and I didn't get any results. Like I think I signed a couple of website projects that I did like for some shitty money, which was taking up a lot of time, but I didn't really get any clients for my SMMA, and nothing was really happening. And I was, of course, burning away money every single month. So for each month that went by, and I knew like subconsciously I wasn't giving it my all and not taking it seriously. I was just burning money and becoming more and more, disappointed in myself. And then I started high school. I was like, okay, new chapter. I think another turning point as well was I got in contact with one of my old friends' older brother, who also runs a pretty successful agency, and just spoke to him about it. And I remember like when he asked questions about what I was doing, it was kind of embarrassing because I was really not, that successful. So that was another thing. He helped me get shit started and, join a community and stuff. But it was mainly because, I was getting a bit older, joining high school, and now I was just beating around the bush for too long. So it's like, damn, now I gotta really, go in fully. So I think that was kind of it.
That's fucking sick. That's sick. So obviously to go back to 2023 and that time period, obviously we met in a different SMMA focused group and met there, and that's like we were doing a little bit of different stuff there, but that's like where you got like started running your agency, signed first of your few clients, and then really quickly jumped into AV a year ago. So, do you remember like what was the reason for you to join? What were you looking to get? Were there any specific problems that you were looking to figure out, or what was the reason for you to take all the money that you had made and invest it back into it and come join us at AV?
Yeah, so AV was always kind of the main goal. I remember I didn't really have any revenue goals with my
Yeah.
business. Of course, there's the 10K a month, but joining AV was really big to me because, yeah, that prior community I was in before I joined, the small one that you had, a lot of the members that I saw in there that were successful, they were in AV. And I know you were running AV, and I'd, been hearing about it. And like everyone else, I think that joined has been watching some of your YouTube channel videos about like, remember you did some cold email tutorials way back in the day, which I used for like SMA and stuff. Uh, and yeah, then I, joined the smaller community, and then the goal was always just to get enough money to join AV because at the time that was quite a big investment for a 16-year-old. So yeah, I just kept grinding, and then obviously the reason to join AV was to level up. I knew that I was going to get a lot more valuable information inside, and also the one-on-one coaching thing was really intriguing. And then also just to connect with the people in there, I knew if I wanted to get access to higher level people, I would need to, invest some money into a serious community. So there was never a doubt in my mind when I joined that smaller program that I was going to use the money to go into AV. So it was just a matter of time on when I got that money. And it took about like, yeah, 5, 6 months. And then I jumped into AV as soon as I could.
It's fucking sick. Understood. Um, Now, like a year later, how has things changed? What kind of growth did you see on maybe like just on the theoretical level is like the wrong word, but how do you think that you grew as an entrepreneur or as a person in general? And how did your business grow? How did it impact your business being in AV for a year?
Yeah, I can start with like the personal stuff. So I would say the past year is the year I've moved myself the most in my entire life. Not even to make up shit or anything, but the stuff that has happened the past year is absolutely insane. I was kind of unconfident in my business before I joined AV, and all this business stuff was very new and frightening, and I didn't have any friends really in the industry. After I've joined AV, I've met some amazing people. I would say that's probably been the biggest thing, even bigger than the revenue goals I've hit with my business. Some of the people I've met in here, I've made some super super great friends that I've met in real life. I went to Spain last summer to visit some guys, and we also did the Oslo thing here last year as well. So meeting people was huge, and just getting access to this network of super, super cool people that are also driven and running successful businesses has been like, you can't even put a price on that. It's like an infinite ROI compared to what you pay for it. And then as myself, like I've just gotten more confident, of course, know more about business. I'm in industry. I do SaaS lead gen because I really like tech and I like SaaS products. So that was like really easy for me to go into that. So I've gotten some great knowledge about that and like how funding works and product market fit and stuff like this, which is going to be valuable to my career in the future as well. So I think that's pretty cool as well. And then also, yeah, I've just gotten the confidence to take sales calls, speak to people that might have been in business way longer than me, but still, kind of show them how things work and, close them on bigger deals and stuff like this, which is, I couldn't have imagined that like 1.5 years ago. So that's super cool. I've really changed as a person in a positive way. So I think that's really great. Then on business level things, last month, well, we closed the deal right after February, so it didn't really count. But if we count that together, we did 16K total in February, 16K dollars. And it looks like, we're on track to do kind of the same in March. Hopefully we'll do more. But 16K in February, which was phenomenal. I won't lie and said it's been like that every single month. There's been some months where I did zero. Like January did like I think 4K. So jumping from 4 to 16 was fucking nuts. And then, some other months have been like maybe 6 or 7. But it's been really like going like this. And then, last month it really took off. Uh, so yeah, 16K last month. And then I've worked with some super sick SaaS companies. Like we worked a bit with Pipedrive on an outbound project, which is huge, and did some other stuff with some other really cool SaaS companies. And yeah, I really enjoy that. Working with these cool tech companies and learning about what their product is and who they serve. And yeah, that's pretty much it on a results basis. Not really sure what much else to say. That was hard to say.
No, that's fire. And that's the thing that I remember like last week, I think on a group call we were talking about it. Like you slap that pipe drive case study on any landing page, like you're gonna be gold and you're not gonna be struggling ever again. As long as you just know how to leverage it.
Mm,
So that's fucking sick. So one like interesting thing here is you said that it has been like really up and down, and of course like I think the first 1 to 2 years like there's always like a lot of volatility, a lot of fluctuation because you don't have a big team, you don't have really predictable processes, like everything is really dependent on you. Like let's say you have like a few nights of bad sleep, like you might drop like 5K in revenue that month. Like it's
yeah.
pretty volatile in the beginning stages. But you mentioned that you went like in January did 4K and then in February you did 16. What do you think was like what happened between these 2 months? Why was the jump like why did you suddenly do like 4 times more revenue? Was it a mental switch? Was it something that you tactically did? Was it a strategical thing that you changed? What happened?
I think it was a mix, but mainly a tactical switch. I think within the last like 4 months or so, I've really started to take things seriously. But the reason why February was so high compared to January was really just a tactical thing, preparation. Um, January's revenue was strictly off performance from a client that I already had. And all of the new revenue in February was from new deals that we signed. So damn, my camera keeps blurring out. Sorry about that. Um, February, yeah. So in January, I spent a lot of time preparing some new sick campaigns, optimizing my sales process, everything. Basically kind of making a new restructure because I knew damn something needs to change if I want to close bigger deals because I'm in a market where I know people have the money to pay me high retainers. I'm just not closing any high retainers, so something needs to change. I know that I know how to deliver results. I can speak fairly confidently on a sales call if I should say so myself. So there was something wrong in the process. So spun up some new campaigns, tried some new angles, and did some new sales jujitsu thing on the call, which worked. So like we went back to back close like 2 calls. So the first one was a 7.5K pay in full, and the next one was a 4.5K monthly retainer. So was that 12K in total, and then performance from another client. So that went up to 16 for February. So it was tactical because I prepared campaigns in January, and then I gotten the fruits of my labor in February from that preparation. So that was pretty much it.
That's fire. That's so sick. One thing that I always like to always ask on these calls is like from your point of view, what does it look like to be in agent velocity and how do things work? Obviously, there's like all like the basic stuff like module SOPs, all this stuff, but nowadays, especially like as you level up, I think everyone starts using like different parts. Like you mentioned before we started recording, like talking to someone and getting some tips on the sales call, and then like boom, immediate like shit starts working, or hopping on a call, getting like one tip, and then immediately closing a big deal. So how are you right now, like benefiting from AV, or like what kind of things are you doing? What kind of things are you getting from it that help you out? You know?
Yeah, for sure. So obviously the way I use AV now is really different compared to how I used it in the beginning. When you're first starting out, you can also see this happening when new members join. You have a lot of questions in the channels. You probably send a lot more RAS requests because you have to get started. You really there's a lot of uncertainty. So that was really what I used AV for in the beginning, just asking questions and gaining as much industry knowledge as possible. Now I'd say I'm past that stage. I rarely have any questions that are not questions specific to my current situation. Like, I don't have questions about like deliverability or inbox setup or, lead scraping or stuff like this. When I have questions, it's more so something very relevant to something that's happening right now. So the way I leverage AV is if I have, a specific problem, I'll send a RAS request and it's something, probably a client problem or something service delivery related. That's mainly what I use AV for right now to get help with service delivery and sometimes also campaigns for myself. But what's so valuable about AV is that you can get feedback so quickly. Aside from like all of the weekly calls there are where you can jump on and get questions answered. If you want more in-depth answers, there's also the RAS system where you can like record a loom. That's something I always do. Like if I have an issue, instead of trying to type it out as good as possible, I'll just record a loom and go through my problem, and then like about max 24 hours later, I'll get some feedback back where the one of the coaches has recorded a loom back to me and given some really good feedback. So that's the speed to feedback in AV is really really valuable, which is probably also why I'll continue to be in AV for a few months more, at least a while, I think, because I really see the value in getting help with the service delivery and getting the help so fast. And another thing is I can also see that it's not like some 0 to 10K a month program or like 10K to 30K a month program. The coaches in AV really follow you wherever you are. And I also see this for some of the bigger players we have inside of AV. Like I know Wesley and Enoch, for example, or Casper and who else? Like Adam and Anna. Once they are at like the 50K plus a month stages, once they're at that stage, you guys and the coaches really go in and more in depth and help them with their specific situation and really help them out, which I think is super cool. So I know that once I hit those bigger numbers, I'm safe because I have somebody who's really willing to help me. It's not like some cookie cutter program where you get like, of course there are modules you can use and watch, but it's not some cookie cutter program where you just get like sloppy support and a few videos to watch. You really, if you have a problem, the coaches are going to help you solve that problem no matter what, which I think, you can't put a price on that. So that's really what I think is valuable about AV and also what I use AV for.
That's fucking fire. Fantastic, man. The last question that I have for you is, would you recommend AV for someone? And if you would, who would you recommend it for? Who would be a good fit for AV? Because obviously not everyone is a fit. Some people just are not cut from the same cloth. They are not they're not ready to ram. So would you recommend it? And if you would, who would you recommend it to?
Well, yeah, I would recommend it. It would be funny if
Thank
I
you,
said
thank you.
no, but I
Yeah.
would recommend I would recommend AV. To whom I would recommend it to? Um, hmm, I won't go out and say that it's only a select few people who can, take their business to a certain stage or run an agency. Everybody can run an agency in terms of what you have to do to get it to 10K a month. I'd more say you have to be a person who's willing to do what it takes to go there, because doing the shit is not hard at all. It's getting yourself to do it that's hard. It's the mindset stuff. So if you want to join AV, you should really consider, okay, if I make this investment and join AV, am I willing to really put in the work? Because if you just join and think that just because you're paying that amount, you'll get results, then you're totally wrong. Obviously, you have to go in, you have to be motivated, driven, and willing to get these results. Because if you are willing and you're asking for feedback, you're jumping on calls and really doing your best to let the coaches help you, there's nothing stopping you from, going to 10, 25, 50K a month, right? So I'd say if you've considered joining, starting a digital agency, even better if you're already running one and you really want to take it seriously, get some systems in place, automations, learn about service delivery, and also connect with some awesome people and go to live events and expand your network. I would say AV is an absolute no-brainer for everything B2B marketing related. It's not even just cold email anymore. We have people inside of AV who's doing all sorts of B2B stuff, which is super sick, I think. So yeah, that's who I would recommend it to.
What a fucking good answer, man. Bro, after this call, I'll just take this video, I'll upload it to the landing page. I change out my old VSL.
Yeah,
Bro, that was amazing. Said thank you so much for the super kind words. Means a ton. Thank you for being with us, and of course for anyone watching this video. If you're on the edge, if you're thinking about it, book a call. Let's see if it's a bit fit, and yeah, let's go from there. But hey, man, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for taking the time, and everyone take care. Bye.
my pleasure.